So, hi everyone. Today is a beautiful day, and it's more beautiful because I have CLAT All India Rank 2 Pradhyot with me. I'm so happy to have you here. How are you feeling? How's the Josh?
I'm extremely overjoyed. Like I honestly didn't expect to do this well, so it came as a bit of a surprise. And
Right.
I'm extremely overjoyed. My family, everyone is they're really proud, and they've been extremely supportive.
And
So
how many
yeah,
questions did you attempt, though, in the paper?
I attempted everything. I mean, I know that might
Hmm.
be a bit of a risk, but I did try to attempt as much as I could. So because
That's
it seemed
so good
a
to hear.
relative paper, so
Wow, wow, wow. And what was your strategy? Because now everybody's like, we also want to be like Pradyot. We also want to be the next year's All India rank, a single digit, and that too in the beginning of the series, in the beginning of 1 to 9. How can someone be like you?
to be honest, you have to adapt to every paper. So I like for example, the paper on the final day was very easy. So I adapted by making sure that I sped through English and I sped through GK and math and I concentrated on logic and legal. So I
Yes.
think if you in that kind of papers, if you give as many attempts as you can, that leaves you with a certain degree of like it leaves you with a benefit. As compared to a harder paper where you would try to limit your number of attempts and increase your accuracy. So I think you need to be able to with this comes with practice, of course, and practice and intuition. So you need to be able to adapt and change in light of the paper that comes out. I think that's one thing that's extremely important. Number two would be practice. Like without practice, you will not be able to like have any sense of intuition or any you won't have a good standing. So without practice you will not be able to write the mocks efficiently or be able to analyze what you're doing, what's going wrong, what's going right, or what I should do in this situation. So I think because of the amount of hours I put in, the number of mocks I wrote, I was able to understand the thinking of the author and the person who's framing the questions, and I just followed in line with that logic, and I think that's what like set me apart from a number of my other friends who wrote the same thing.
Correct. But question about form. That's probably towards the later stage that the attempt. But did you attempt it from the very beginning?
Could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, I said you mentioned about mocks, the importance of mocks, because practice makes a man perfect. But did you try to attempt almost every mock, and how did you analyze the mocks then?
Okay, so I would recommend do as many mocks as you can. Sure, some are going to turn out bad. Some maybe the mock itself is inherently flawed, or maybe you messed up. But that shouldn't be something that lets you down or makes you think that the paper is going to go bad, right? So analyze every question, figure out patterns of where you're going wrong, like in English or in logic. Figure out patterns, see what types of questions are where you're getting tricked. For example, like strengthening and weakening was something that I was poor at. So once I identified that and I sat with a couple of my friends and tutors and like worked on it, I was able to increase my. So I think that's something that you should be willing to do. Like for example, during the last few months, I made a spreadsheet with my marks, with my sectional marks, and I figured out where I was going wrong. So I think that's something that you need to be able.
Now I do understand that it's all about practice, but practice without knowing the concept or without imbibing the theory within also doesn't help much. So, which sources did you pick for each section? GK, verbal, and so on and so forth.
So for RC, I would say read editorials. They're your best
Okay.
bet at gaining like a good grasp at how those kind of passages come. So once you read many of them, you're able to understand how exactly the author is thinking, and that will be a extremely beneficial thing for you. So RC would be editorials. For math, you will have to practice math questions, figure out the topics that they generally ask, and work on them. So that'll be good for you as well. As for GK, there are multiple sources out there that are available. I'd say choose which suits you the best. For me
Right.
personally, that was a mix of for me personally, it was a mix of Drishti, Manthan, and like supplementary, like Newscanvass, for example. So I'd say choose whatever you are the most comfortable with, because ultimately it's your choice, and trying to force a medium on you that you're not comfortable with is not going to help you.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
yeah, that's
What about legal?
could you repeat that?
Legal and logical?
Legal and logic. Again, so legal and logic are going to be tricky because they depend extensively on the passage that does come. So while you can't prepare directly for what, like you would in GK or math, you can practice those questions. So they do these workshops. They give you those sheets, so you can do those for practice. For legal, maybe read up on a few law-based editorials or judgments, and try to make sense of them. Try to figure out what the approach is, what the arguments are, and that might help you uh, just answer better in that regard.
Feel that that taken with easy by comparing with section, but not every time it would be the case with every student. And as you said, that the student should pick the source the student is comfortable in. But then, until unless the student has a look at various sources available in the market, the student may not be able to understand which source he or she is comfortable with, right? So, how did you arrive at these three sources, say Drishti and Manthan and Newscanvass?
So like it was a lot of trial and error in the start. I was just trying to figure out, see how it went. So something I noticed was that in CL mocks, because most of the questions did come from the Manthan, but the Drishti IS was much more informative in a way, and I
Mm.
thought that if you have a bit of context behind what you're actually studying in GK, that can
Right.
help you tremendously in recalling what you have actually learned. So, for example, if you take the Israel-Palestine thing that's happening, for a long time I didn't understand what was actually happening. I was just like trying to force my way out of it, try to mug up all the facts, and that didn't help. Then later, when I watched a few videos, when I read up on it and did my own research, I think that helped me understand the entire conflict and gain a better perspective on it. So, Drishti, in that regard, because of the amount of and the volume of information that they have, that is they're excellent in that way. But then you also need to know how to be selective in what you're actually taking down. So News Canvas and Manthan, they were very concise in nature, which is something that is also beneficial because you're able to narrow it down to the main points. So if you want context, I'd say Drishti, but if you want concise information, you can use a mix of everything, supplementing it with News Canvas and Manthan.
How many hours did you spend on each section in order to study during the initial months and last months?
So I'll be very frankly honest. Till the toppers meet, say in March, I was not very serious in my approach per se, because I used to write mocks, I used to analyze them, but I hadn't started GK as seriously as I did during the last few months. So I would say that yeah, take your time, figure everything out, figure out what you want to do, who you want to do it, who you want to do your GK sessions with. Like I had my own study group. I'd advise people to make study groups, form them, form your own GK doc. So that will take time, and it's never too late to start. But at the same time, you need to have that sense of urgency and that intuition that okay, I need to start now, otherwise it may become too late. So I think a March or Feb is ideal for you to start prep season.
Crack possible? Crack with a good rank?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Your voice is breaking.
Someone begins in August or July. Is CLAT
Yeah.
impossible to rank for a dream NLU?
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly still a very big shock to me. Like I generally did not expect getting AI2. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, as soon as my boards are over, I don't know. Maybe I'll go to NLS. I'm
Right.
definitely most likely going there.
Right, right. So if someone starts a bit late, maybe in August, do you still feel that
Oh,
that person, that student can crack
yeah,
CLAT
for
rank?
sure. So yeah, so for sure, it's never too late. Like I said, even if you do start in August, I know many people, many of my friends who started in August, who started late. Like one of my friends started a month before CLAT, and they
Oh,
still ended up getting comparable and very good ranks. So it all depends on the amount of work and effort and dedication that you have, and the amount of work that you're able to willing to put into it. Even if I started 2 years back and I didn't put much effort into it, I may still be outdone by someone who started a month back, but with their heart and soul. So I think during the last few months, especially, you have to make sacrifices and you have to be able to concentrate and use dedication. Without that, it's not going to be achieved.
You mentioned about some sources to be picked for each of the sections. My last question to you would be that, despite the sources being known to someone, do you feel that at the D day, the calm and composure there and strategies there do matter quite a lot?
To be honest, on the actual day, right, you are going to feel nervous. You are not going to know what to do. But I would say calm down, because if you don't have a positive mindset, if you don't have that confidence when you're writing that exam, you are going to stutter and you are going to fall behind. So as long as you have that confidence that you're like able to manage your time efficiently, and you have thought everything through, you've done your best at prep, you will kill it. Like unless you do these things, you will not be able to like you may fall behind because of that nervousness. Many of my friends, they were excellent in prep. They were much better than me. They are smarter than me. But on the actual day, they messed up due to a few reasons, and it may not even be their fault. But in the end, you're going to have to face it. You're going to have to adapt, and you're going to have to like go through it with that confidence. So I think that's the most important thing.
I just see that conviction in you still, and that's the reason why you are Air too. That's so good to be hearing so many good words from you. And I really wish whosoever watches this interview later may also bless you indirectly, directly, and imbibe so many things, so many good things of what you've said. I really wish you all the very best in all your future endeavors. Stay in touch. It's so
Yeah,
proud of feeling as a teacher to have someone who has scored so well. And with all honesty, you say that it was a bit unexpected and you were pleasantly surprised. But for good students, I think that's what they say towards the end. So yes, yes, and thank you so very much for being a part of this
thank you so
journey
much
with
for
us.
having me.
God bless you. God bless you. We're so glad to be your teachers. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.